You heard it right from the judge that they caught this guy, James J. Morrison, freelance producer for MSNBC, that he was instructed by this booker, Irene Bayan, in New York to follow the jury, and he was caught. Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's still sort of unfolding. I'm still getting notes in real time from people at the courthouse about what we know and what we don't know. I mean, initially, it's funny, I told your producers, well, you know what, it seems that it wasn't a reporter it wasn't connected to MSNBC. And then I got another saying, wait, hold on, wait, it seems it was someone who was a freelancer. So look, bottom line is, if it's true that someone at MSNBC instructed a freelancer to follow the jury, it's not only moronic and despicable, it's illegal. So, you're not just talking about the possibility of MSNBC not being allowed back in the courtroom if it turns out that this is true, but, the person involved could be facing charges for trying to, for refusing to adhere to a judicial order, et cetera. So this is really bad if this is true.
And not only that, I agree with you 100% on the ethical violation, but this guy and now MSNBC are going to wind up in a motion for a mistrial and possibly appellate court papers if this guy, Kyle Rittenhouse, gets convicted, because it'll be cited as one of the many things that intimidated this jury into coming up with what the defense will argue was the wrong verdict if it doesn't go their way.
Yeah, I don't think that this will be the best argument. I think that the defense's argument about this video is actually a much stronger argument than some guy who didn't actually, get in touch with the jurors, et cetera. I think that this question about the quality of the video, you would think people are going to say, oh, come on, what's the big deal about, so that the defense is saying, well, they got a version of the video which was of lesser quality. Well, part of their defense has been that you can't really tell from the video what was happening. So if they didn't have that video, and if it's true that the prosecutors did this on, well, I shouldn't say if it's true. We'll see if the prosecutors did this intentionally. They say it was inadvertent, but that's a big issue, because there you're talking about literally the defense making arguments in court that now they can say, well, we would have argued you can't see the video if we'd had the original version of it.
Yeah. No, it's true. And the court in that particular instance has said he's not sure he believes the prosecution, that he's actually going to put them on the stand under oath and potentially, and wants to hear directly from them, as well as from expert witnesses, on which he said from the beginning, on whether this tape should have been admitted at all. So it's certainly going to be potential grounds for an appeal if it doesn't go the defense's way. I want to tell you that NBC just issued a statement. I will read it in full. Last night, a freelancer received a traffic citation. While the traffic violation took place near the jury van, the freelancer never contacted or intended to contact the jurors during deliberations, and never photographed or intended to photograph them. We regret the incident and will fully cooperate with the authorities on any investigation, NBC News spokesperson. I will say, not good enough.
That's not a good. So we started this conversation by me saying to you, let's see whether NBC is admitting. So they're admitting that this person worked for them. Okay, bad fact number one. They're admitting that the person was following the bus. Bad fact number two. And they're not denying that someone an executive there was instructing him to do this. That's horrible fact number three. So, while some people are going to read that and say, oh, NBC's sort of owning up to a minor violation, that to me actually makes this now a bigger story.
Yeah. And I don't know. It sounds like it happened last night. So he must have been following the jury van, I'm assuming, on their way back to, from the courthouse to their main location. Who knows? But there's only one reason a producer follows a jury van. They either want to contact the jurors or they want to see where the jurors live so that they can contact them later. Either way, totally impermissible, way out of line. And any journalist knows you're not supposed to do that. The jurors in particular are supposed to be held inviolate. You don't mess with them. If their identities are public, sure, you can contact them after the trial and ask them if they want to speak. But you don't follow them. You really are messing with something very high stakes.
Because, you know what, I was thinking as we were talking about this, well, maybe someone said, go so you can get a sense of what they look like for later. But you know what they look like if you're in court.
Yep.
It's not like, so I was trying to think of what could their possible explanation be? It can't be, well, I just wanted to get a visual on them for later, because the visual you can get in court of all the jurors. So you're exactly right that following the jurors back, the only reason that you would do that is to see where they're going. And that period is unacceptable and impermissible.
Yeah. I mean, these bookers for the big networks are famous or infamous, depending on your view, for their aggressive measures in trying to book guests. And the jurors in the Rittenhouse trial will be a major booking if they decide to do it. But there are limits. The law limits what they can do. And this is gross. And NBC's not going to get away with this statement, because if it really was this Irene, as the freelancer identifies by name, Irene Byan in New York, who told them to do it, she's got some splaining to do too.
Oh, this is 101, right, Megyn? I mean, look, you've covered a lot of cases. Obviously I have too. And this is seriously 101, meaning you hire a producer to go to a trial. It's probably the three things you tell them are, follow what's happening in court and take notes. See if you can get any interviews in the hallway, and stay away from the jurors.
Right.
I mean, it's one of the very basic things that you tell people who are covering a trial.
And now they're going to need to add, follow what happens in court and do not follow the jury.
Right.
By the way, that booking producer has now deleted her LinkedIn. She's in a lot of trouble. And so is this freelancer. And I mean, look, MSNBC's banned from the courthouse. But as far as I can tell, NBC isn't. They share resources. I can attest to that. I'm sure you can too from your time at MSNBC. Yeah. So, the punishment isn't all that punitive, but the judge is doing the right thing.
Let's see where this goes. This isn't over, right? I mean, this is the punishment for now. Let's see if this goes further than just a traffic violation. It really is going to depend on the intent here, right? I mean, if it was truly just a traffic violation from someone who happened to be in the same place as the jurors, but that's not the way the judge is interpreting it as of right now.